most people disdain and they hate education. The system told them that they were being educated, where in fact they were being indoctrinated. That's why they hate it. But the science of is the first step to freedom. So instead of complaining, understand that the game is going to be played whether you like it or not. You think your fucking tweet does anything? Is the game beat you? You understand that the outcome of your life is because you chose it to be that way.
They're just fed bullshit.
Why is my life so shit? Yo, if you're gonna make money, at least know what the fuck it is. Like, it's literally right in front of you. The mockery is right in front of your face. It's hilarious. Trust your God right here.
Like, when did things really pop off for you with all the trading stuff or e-com? Like, what year, how old were you?
Yeah, so I was telling one of my buddies, we were sitting down and talking and utilizing this concept of what time is.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea that like I made it on a specific time frame or on a specific date. There's no such thing as making it. It's more so like there wasn't this initial success.
Mm-hmm.
It was I'm in this journey that I started the moment I was born. Right? So that's the moment the quest started. I know it sounds crazy, but that's when you need to reverse engineer what your entire life has been and how everything is lined up to be who you are today. Because everything where you are today is where you chose to be.
Yeah.
Right. And it was your choice, whether it was your subconscious mind or your conscious mind doing it. So to answer your question, the journey's been ever since I felt like an anomaly. Right. You look at the school system, you see how people operate, and you realize that something isn't clicking.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you just forge your own path.
100%.
So yeah, I came to America at the age of 16, started pressure washing basketball courts, cleaning toilets, working in kitchens.
Were you alone?
Yeah, I was alone. I was alone. Had $200, but it was worth it. And at the end of the day, like, what do you have to lose? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to die. Like, you're going to die anyway. Like, the outcome is the same for everybody. So why not just go for it? And I went for it and it worked. And for a lot of people, it doesn't work. I think the big differentiator is the self-education process of not only introducing new information that the school system doesn't give you or that your parents don't give you or that the system doesn't give you, but also that the detox process of all the stuff that you've been taught that is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Because you look at people's day-to-day behaviors and you start realizing that a lot of why people are where they are today is because of their subconscious behavior. You look at all the programming, like people think that laziness or not doing your task or not picking up a book or not exercising is 100% their fault. No, there's something called conditioning.
Yes.
Right? There's something called conditioning, and people have been conditioned to lose. And it's from that conditioning that you must kind of unlock yourself to then recondition your mind. Because if you don't program yourself, somebody will program you.
So
it's a long journey, right?
Yeah,
It's
no.
a forever journey.
I'm curious who you think is conditioning people. Is it an agenda? Is there a purpose behind it? Is it just happening, right? Is it lack of awareness, or is there like some intention there?
There's this law of the universe known as the law of correspondence that talks about as above, so below. And it's this idea that as things appear in the spiritual realm, they manifest themselves in the physical realm. So what we see in the world today is merely a physical manifestation of the spiritual condition of the world. So it's not a money problem. It's not a person problem. It's a fundamental problem in the spiritual condition of the world. And it manifests itself through the insanity that takes place in the world. So through this concept, we understand that it's not a physical problem. Money isn't the root of all evil. It's not the problem. The root of all evil is your inability to wield that thing and allowing that thing to control you and run your life. And that's why you have everything in the world being run by money, conditioned by money, greed. And yeah, my opinion is more like a spiritual problem. I wouldn't pinpoint it to a specific individual.
Oh, it's super.
I would say it is that we are just as guilty as everybody else. And when you assume that responsibility, then you realize that you also have the responsibility to change, and that you are that change around you. And it's all based off of this understanding of energy and vibrational frequencies, that you have to be at a higher vibration, therefore controlling the tempo of the environment, therefore changing what's happening around.
To me, it almost sounds like the reason you're jumping on, our podcast or trying to grow on social media and doing it successfully, right, is because you want to be that change and you want to put that vibration out. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's this understanding that you don't know what you don't know. And to disdain people and to shun people based off of their life choices, whether they're good or bad. We see a lot of people bashing other people online.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of these motherfuckers don't know any better. They don't know any better. They need help. They need guidance. They need direction. And if you can not tell them something, not tell them what to do, but guide them through a process of what? Of logic, of self-exploration, of questioning, of finding truth, then that person now has what? Hope. And hope is what a person needs to move forward in life. And what a lot of people don't have is hope. So if you can instill a little bit of hope, and that sometimes means you have to shock people into reality, then I think it's a worthy ideal. And the problem is most people disdain and they hate education because they compare it to the indoctrination that they received when they were in school, thinking that they were being educated. The system told them that they were being educated, where in fact they were being indoctrinated. That's why they hate it. When you usually get sick from like food poisoning, whatever it is that you ate right before that food poisoning, you usually hate that food. It's like icky.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with education. The reason education is gross to a lot of people and why it's so distasteful is because of what they've been told education was. But the science of self-learning is the first step to freedom.
There's a connotation associated.
100%, but it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not
Higher
real.
education.
How do you know that the history books are real, bro?
I got a book right there. This is the falsification of history.
There you go. Because it's all bullshit. It's all a perspective of one dude or a couple dudes that most likely won whatever took place, covered up a ton of shit, and made themselves look good. Wouldn't you do the same?
Like, how are they going to paint 2016, 2020, all this stuff? It's going to be completely different. It's already covered up.
Yeah, there you go. Past news. Bury one hatchet, bring another one, and backstab them again. Like, until people learn, it's going to keep happening. But when you understand the rules of the game and how history works, and the loops and cycles and the ebbs and flows of life, you can position yourself and be like, okay, I win. The people that hate the system are the ones that aren't making money and aren't winning from the system. The guys that love the system, the ones that understand it, run it, and are benefiting from it. So instead of complaining, understand that the game is going to be played whether you like it or not. And you better get your bag secured by understanding how the rules of the game works and how the game is played. And by that point, you're not going to be complaining and wasting your energy going on Twitter. Do you think your fucking tweet does anything? It's going to change anything? Think no, it's just going to get your ass banned. You dumb fuck. Is that the objective? No, the game beat you. You didn't have self-control. You didn't understand how to play your cards right. Right? So instead of blaming the system, the exterior, everything is self-responsibility. Everything happens because of me. And once you start living that way, you start playing your cards a little bit differently. You start playing more intelligently. And ultimately, you understand that the outcome of your life is because you chose it to be that way, whether conscious or unconscious. I think it was Terrence McKenna. He's a guy that talked a lot about psychedelics and mushrooms back in the day.
Yep.
Don't quote me on him, but I think I heard it from him in one of his speeches. He says, men will be guided by their subconscious mind their whole life and call it God. So what does that mean? That most people are guided by their subconscious mind and the programming that is taking place?
They're just fed bullshit.
Fed bullshit. And they will assume because it's in the back of their head that it's God talking to them and leading them. And it's like, if this was God leading me and guiding me, why is my life so shit? I don't know what type of God you have. But if God is a God of order and not a God of confusion, then why are other people that say that they understand and know who God is live such a shitty life?
I think a lot of
Makes no sense.
people, God is now this. God is the phone. God is the social media.
What does the dollar say, brother? In God we trust. People's trust is on the fucking paper. It's right in front of you. Mm-hmm. It's like it's literally right in front of you. The mockery is right in front of your face. It's hilarious. Trust your God right here. There you go. Trust me. The banks. They own every fucking corner. Here, look at it. You walk around Brickell, they own every corner. Yeah. Every corner. Do you think that's by chance? That's by design. That's by design. What, and you can't cut yourself a little sliver? Come on. It's not that hard, guys. Just put in some hours. Most of you guys ain't even trying.
I love this right now. And so if you mentioned like playing within the confines of the game, playing within the confines of the system. Right now, I think the message that,
The
to me,
Matrix.
there's like there's two ways you could go as somebody who's made millions of dollars, right? You can, keep that money, you can continue milking the system, you can make the right connections, you get access to these, pre-IPO offerings or the best real estate deals
Hmm.
or the roll-ups that are getting ready to happen before they happen, this tech startups, all this kind of stuff, right? And for you, to me, what you're doing is not necessarily playing within the. I mean, you're definitely playing smart, right? But not necessarily within the confines of the system, because I don't think you have a large influence. I don't think the banks like you educating the younger generation on TikTok. So I would love to hear what your intention is with that. Is that playing within the system? Because I don't think the system necessarily likes that. And to me, like a guy like you with a lot of money, you made a lot of money in crypto and ecom and all this different stuff. Like you could just kind of have it good and have the insider play and really understand. So what's the intention of really educating people in this way? And what does that look like for you?
Because the current system that we live in is not a sustainable system, right? So if you look at the New York Stock Exchange, all the publicly listed companies, what do they work for? They work to make sure shareholder value is upheld and to make sure that shareholder returns are
Profit.
good. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yep.
That is the purpose of a publicly listed organization. So when you have millions and millions of people around the world working to make sure the next quarter hits, then everything is microwave. Everything is bandage, bandage, bandage. So you need to condition people and retrain people that there's a better way to operate within the confines of the system, right? So I'm not here whether the system works or not. It's, yo, if you're going to make money, at least know what the fuck it is, right? Like, I'm not, do you think I'm going to go out here be the rebellion against trillions and trillions of dollars? Bro, I know better.
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot. But that doesn't mean that you can't have plants in your house to oxygenate your house and drink spring water instead of drinking tap water. You can still have a good life.
Yeah.
You can still avoid seed oils, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can still understand what your laws are and what the Bill of Rights is.
Yeah.
Do you think the banks care? They don't give a fuck. They just know most people are not going to do it regardless of whether I say it anyway. So I'm not here to fight anybody. I'm just here to talk to the people that are ready to get to the next level. And I'm there at the top of the mountain waiting.
I like that a lot.